Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope everybody's good tonight. I hope. I see Andrew was here earlier. Smoochie, hello, dear. Hello, Cindy, if you're still in the room. Michigan, what's up, bud? Good show tonight. Blue Crossroads. So I hope everybody's good. As people roll in, we'll wait about 12:30, start the replay. And then if everybody's up to it, then I'll do 5. And then we'll call it a night. Yeehaw. So how's everybody doing? Anything good going on? Michigan had a great show. Thanks, man. Oh man, go rest. I know it's like after streaming. You go rest, man. Have a good one. Great show. I appreciate you people. You take care. Be safe out there and have a good and wonderful night. Is there anybody exciting going on as people slowly will roll in? I'm surprised Mark's not here. Ah, there he is. I was gonna say I'm surprised Mark's not here yet. Hey Roger, how you doing? Oh, that's nice of you. I'll make sure she knows. Thanks, Michigan. That was really sweet of you. Hey Roger, super nice. I will make sure I let her know. That's awesome. Sure appreciate that. She's out having fun right now. She's out mommies. So how is everybody? I'm gonna say that 1,000 times. I know I am. Yep, I'm just gonna wait till some people roll in, let you people say hi to each other, and then we'll start it about 12:30. I think. Hold on. How long is the first one? Number 4 is dun 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 dun. Um, 23 minutes, so it should go pretty fast. Might as well cue it up and get it ready to go. So we can listen to her ramble at the beginning and the end of these. Bless her heart. Okay, there we go. Now it's ready to rock and roll. Is there anything exciting? I'm okay. Been a busy day. Been trying to get a lot done. Just catching up. Like I said, I'm really caught up. I'm just catching up on the BS stuff. So yeah. Ran all morning, got up early, was run. I came home, I don't know, well, around noon or so. I wasn't even paying attention. And then I've been go since getting the things done, trying to make some plans here. Just in case anything happens, I got a place to go. And all that fun stuff. So what's up, folks? Again, I said I knew I would. I'm pretty relaxed tonight, kind of chilled. So what's the excitement? Anything? Anybody heard anything good? Except all the hey, Cindy, there you are. Hi, hon. How you doing? Pink hand wave to you too. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff that I'm telling you that Trump shot's gonna make some money, man. It's gonna make some money. Nope, nothing good. I had good streams off and on the day, but yeah, not pretty unexciting day, just an average day. So let's see. Her first one is like 23, and that's 4. And then I think, hold on, make sure we get what's going on here. And then, why did it do that? I gotta scroll through this crap again. No, it's not crap. I just say it's scrolling. I had a mark, but I was gonna download them. I'm like, nah, it's just easier to go back to the channel. Okay, where did you go? You know, she's got a lot of videos if you really think about it, not counting the ones she made private or got rid of. Let's see. Man, it's really weird because these are like 2 years old, so it's really amazing. Let's see, I'm getting there. I think. Scroll as we scroll. Okay, now we're getting close. Okay, there's 5. Okay, and 5 is 2 years, and it's 26 minutes. Let's see. Get that ready to rock and roll. There we go. What's up, guys? Make sure I start that over. Read chat just in case she's watching. Hail to the queen. She may be asleep. Who knows? I haven't heard from her in a while, so she's probably in bed. But hail to the queen. So, what's up? Come on, people, talk to me. I don't hold on. Well, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a rambler. Well, I am, but I ain't. Nothing exciting here happened today. When I went out this morning, I saw the usual, but nothing really scary. It's just every time I go out now. It's almost every time I go out now. Actually, it has been almost every day, except for the days I've actually managed to stay home. Then I've seen neighbors with them too, so I really can't get away from it. She says she might watch. Yeah, she might watch. I know she's busy. It's crazy when she's at her mom. So, what else is going on? Miss y'all last night. You were gone. Yeah, I was tired, and I had to get up early because I had to do some really early morning running. So I was up and out of here pretty quick this morning. Didn't sleep much, but yeah, I cut it early so I can kind of try to get myself in a rest mode. It was pretty tame last night, anyways. I didn't have much to say, a lot going on, but I had a lot to do today, and it was kind of nice because I was able to get everything done at a decent time. Made dinner, lollygagged around, and did some odds and ends. So it worked out. Getting up early, getting on a roll. But we'll go until the end of the second video of this if we go to number 5. Depends on who hangs around and wants to watch it. But we're definitely going to do number 4 here about 12:30. Yeah, in about 20, 25 minutes. Depending on who rolls in. And that's about it. But yeah, I went out this morning, did my running. I tried to make it quick anymore because it's all this craziness I'm seeing. And you can tell people are just getting frustrated. No, we mostly listen to the ghosty stories. But I'm going to tell stories next Friday. As long as I'm walking this earth off, and I'll be here next Friday. As far as I know, I plan on it. And I plan on telling stories. And asked me to, so I think that's what I'll do on Fridays. Is just when everybody comes in, start telling stories. Working my way up through the years. Maybe throw in a few stories I heard along the way. But yeah, I don't tell much stories anymore. I'm not a very good storyteller. That's the thing. I have my moments though. But yeah, just been I had my 3 great grandsons last night, and they didn't want to go to bed for nothing. I've been there, done that, man. There ain't nothing but a bunch of riled up kids all ready to go, man. It's like a long night. Sent her a get well card today. You did? Yeah, she's hurting. She was hurting last night. She came in and asked for you, Blue. But yeah, she was hurting last night. I know she wasn't feeling it. But she hung around till I left. I was really impressed. Bless her heart. But yeah, she's killing her now. And it will for a while. And once she gets up and really gets to moving and start working, it'll feel better. Hopefully. Hopefully. Sometimes back surgery never goes the way you want it to. So I'm really keeping my hopes up for her. The key is to get up and get moving around. I know that was the key with my neck. Once I got up and moving, I mean, I can only move it certain ways sometimes, but it does the job. She's doing really good. Like I said, she was in here last night. She was hurting a little bit. She may pop in tonight. We'll leave that up to her because I know she was hurting. Been a had piss 2 weeks for me. Yeah, it's been weird the last few weeks. I joined a few dragon groups. Love the dragon art. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones out there. That's where I get a lot of my stuff. Yeah. Yeah, there's some fantastic art out there. But yeah, it's been a weird 2 weeks. But I'm good. I mean, it's just been weird. And it don't help with all the crap I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of stuff. So I don't even like going out anymore, but I know I have to. I got to deal with it because I'm meant to see it for a reason, I guess. So but sometimes it gets to you. This morning it wasn't too bad. I saw a few things, but I didn't hang around. I got what I needed done, went from the one place to the other, and didn't dilly dally. But I'm always like that, anyways. But I wonder why. I think I'm going to stay home tomorrow and hang out. I think I'm going to make some homemade ice cream. We've been craving some homemade ice cream, so I dug out the old ice cream maker, break out the recipe, and make me some homemade ice cream. Kind of calm the old flame down. So what everybody else has planned for their wonderful Sunday afternoon. I don't know. Is there any preseason games on tomorrow? I don't know if there is or not. I didn't look. I know Cincinnati and Washington played tonight. I don't know who won. I guess I could go look. That's real entertaining, huh? Oh, I never was any good at this. My spelling sucks. Cincinnati lost 19-21. Washington Commanders. I'll never get used to that. I'll never get used to that. That sounds good. Yeah, strawberry. No, they like chocolate. Those strawberry does sound good. Go get some fresh strawberries, put in there, make one with strawberries. Do one day and do one the other. That actually sounds pretty good, Cindy. My dad would actually like that. He likes peach. I made homemade peach one year, and he whooped it down. You got to watch because, being a diabetic, little bowls, Dad, little bowls. Cutting my acres tomorrow and working out chest, legs, and cardio. There you go. I'm going to go stand out in the front yard on my head and see how long it takes the neighbors to call the funny farm. Yeah, my dad loves peach. So, strawberry does sound good. I haven't tried the strawberry. I made a cookie dough one time. It turned out pretty good. It was a couple years ago, too. But we hadn't had, I think the last time I used it was like one time around 4th of July last year. I need to break out and use it more. Pineapple's good. I'm not a pineapple guy. See, that's the thing. I have to watch certain stuff because of medication I take. I can't eat I used to love grapefruit. Can't eat that anymore. They won't. It's not a good idea. Pineapple. I'm not allowed to do pineapple because of the medication. It messes with the medication. I made a mistake of drinking a real fruit punch once, and it had grapefruit in it. Man, it messed me up for like 2 days. Now, watermelon wouldn't be too bad. I've been on a watermelon kick. Yeah, my dad likes watermelon. I buy him these fresh fruit bowls. There's a guy down the street that makes fresh fruit bowls. So I buy him those. And it's got pineapple and honeydew in them, nice and chilled. Man, he whoops those things down. I'm not much a fruit guy. I eat watermelon. Maybe a peach once in a while. Maybe a pear. Apples here and there. I like to dip apple in caramel sauce, so like that's real healthy. Could make chocolate caramel ice cream tomorrow. Ooh. I'm coming up with ideas now. I made homemade hamburger helper tonight. Those guys wolf it down every time. One time, every so often I'll cheat and use the box, but homemade's so much better. Break out the casserole dish. Now we're going to talk food. Where's AK at talking food? He didn't come in last night and talk food either. I'm waiting for AK to come in. He didn't come in last night. Maybe he'll pop in tonight and tell us what he's grilling. Maybe. Yeah, watermelon ice cream would be different. I wonder how that would go. Excuse me. Did a little work outside this morning. It wasn't bad, just a little humid. Mandatory my allergies. I had to take an extra allergy pill. Ghosting. Gonna be cooler tomorrow. You could go flying and scare half of Columbus. I thought about it. But actually, like I said, I think we'll make ice cream I'm going to try to take a day off, but it never works out that way. So we got a few errands. We're trying to find Dad a new recliner because he broke the old one. I thought it would be me to break it because I get in there and I fall asleep in a rock. I trashed the last two, but nope, he tore this one up. So tomorrow morning, I think we're going to go look for a recliner. We looked at a couple places, but he wants to keep looking. Finally got him a generator, and like I said, I got him an air compressor. And then a couple other things he wants to get back and that they threw away. Haha, like they threw them away. They probably just resold them. Now the air compressor they probably threw. I mean, not the air compressor, but the generator, because the fire was literally on top of it. A lot of it was kind of melted. And thank God it didn't get to the gas tank. Now I'm thinking of ice cream. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Yeah, we usually cook out on Sunday, even if the weather's bad, because the garage is pretty efficient to set it on the edge. Fly over the zoo and cause a stampede. No, I wouldn't do that. I like the animals. Actually, I used to volunteer there. The Compass Zoo is a good place. Jack Hanna was a nice guy. He really was. Now, some of the staff, but Jack was a super nice guy. They wanted me to work there when I was working. When just after I left Bonanza, they offered me a job as one of the restaurant managers. I almost took it. I wish I had now. I probably would have been set pretty good, but the hours, and I hear one of the guys says the staffing's kind of rough, and it's always go, go, go from the time you get there to the time you leave, and sometimes you end up doing banquets afterwards, and he says it can get crazy. If you got a family, it may not be a wise idea. Yeah, you are full of it tonight. Being on remark. But yeah, I passed on. I'm kind of glad I did, though. Because, I mean, they've done a lot since Jack died, but that place will never be the same without him. Yeah, we're going to start here pretty soon. In about 10 minutes, I'll start the first video. I won't talk too much through it. I might type. I got the YouTube viewer up, so let her run. We like to listen to her ramble anyways. I do, at least. You're on a roll, Mark. Yeah, he is, isn't he, though? He's full of it tonight. That's lots of rest today, so feeling good. Yeah, I was going to say, you've been off quiet. That's nothing wrong with that. I'll probably, when I get done here, I got a couple things I got to do before I go to bed. And I got to do them, so I got to get those done. Then I'll probably try to go sleep. Try to get him up early and go see if we can find a chair for him. And get back so I can just kind of chill the rest of the day. I want to do some stuff in the room. I'm getting ready to switch tanks and everything, so I need to start prepping those tanks up. Get the froggies out of that one back there and put them in a little bigger tank. And I think I'm going to get me a turtle. A turtle. I want a turtle. I was going to get a bearded dragon, but I think a turtle will be better. I'm more apt with amphibians and things like that. So, and turtles, or reptile, whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't mind a bearded dragon, but you got to be careful because they can get sick. But once they bond with you, man, they're almost a better pet than a dog. So, and I know iguanas. If you bond with an iguana really good, they'll protect you, and they can put up a fight. And they freak you out coming out of nowhere. You got to fly over Jersey at least once. I might just check on them. See what they're doing. No, Hydra having. She's on okay. I'm not going to bug her while she's on her little break. She needs it. Let her do her thing. Let her have fun. Now, if I go flying anywhere, I have a couple places I'd like to go torch, but we'll talk about those later. Hey, chapter 444 or 444 or chapter or however you want to do it. Amazing how sometimes we have so much trouble with our current humans like man. One misstep and you're, yeah. Isn't that the truth? Isn't it the truth? Hey, I try to tell everybody things are changing. It's going to get weirder. It's going to get a little meaner. A friend of mine has one of those three bearded dragons. Yeah, they're good pets. I don't know if I'd have three. They can be kind of messy. You got to really take care of them. But if he's got that app to do that, man, yeah, things are crazy right now. Like I said last night, it's going to get crazier and it's going to get weirder and it's going to get more intense. It's going to be a while before it all really comes to an end. We used to have a pet. Oh, you used to have a pet at the precinct? Really? That's cool. The, the cop station had a cop iguana. Did you put him on duty? Hey man, they're great pets. They really are. People are shocked how good those iguanas and bearded dragons are. Um, the ex got one of the girls. She takes care of my one daughter's children. Things got kind of rough, but she's there too. So, but they got her a bearded dragon. She's bonding with it really well, and it seems to be helping her, which is nice. And they've become quite close, and that's good. He likes me. I go in there, and him and the dog, they come right to me. And she always freaks out. She goes, he doesn't like anybody, man. You come in the door, Grandpa, and man, he comes right up to you. And I said, yeah, because they dig a dragon. They know a dragon when they see a dragon. 3 large aquariums, that's what you want to keep them in because they can get pretty big. I've seen some people keep some very large ones in a small confined place. But I also know some of those people also let them roam pretty freely. So, hey, there he is. Just lit up a lump of charcoal. I kind of missed you last night, but there was a short night last night. How you doing, AK? Found it at an abandoned drugway, took it to the office, and just hung out at the front desk. There you go. That's cool, though. At least you kept him safe. Sometimes when you turn those over to like pet stores and stuff, unfortunately, they don't always go to the best owner. So, and was he in good shape when you found him? Did he seem pretty healthy? That's the real question. Was he healthy and happy? He probably was happy to be roaming around there. He said he was got the coals on the grill. Cook is dicey. So this cook is dicey. uh, you know, my son, I guess the owners the people he works for, the owners let their dog, they bring their dogs to work, and I guess they're big old burly dogs. I'll have to ask him what they were, but one of them passed. So somebody gave him a couple really nice pups. I'm gonna have to what the heck there are, but he says it's a blast to have them at work. Nobody gets anything done because all they do is play with the pups. Oh, Santa Maria seasoned dry tip. There you go. That sounds yummy, don't it? Yeah, we had, like I said, homemade hamburger helper. It turned out good. It always does. I need to make it a little creamier though. So what time we got now? I'm wasting time. I'm wasting time. TikTok. Oh, a couple more minutes. A little underweight. Eat rock. Some vitamins. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. It don't take much. I mean, but once they get sick, dude, man, they get sick. It takes a lot to get them back to health. But that's good. He was probably just malnourished, which is a lot better than some of the ones I've seen they found. It's pretty sad the way people take care of these things. Had a friend that didn't do a very good job with his turtle. Kind of bummed me out. So I made him give him to me because the water was nasty and stuff. And I go, dude, you got to take care of your turtle. Like, I don't have time. But why'd you get him in the first place, dipshit? Pardon my mouth. Just Ryan, did you get to check out the Cobra outbreak in Missouri? Oh, I almost forgot about that. Yeah, no, I didn't get to check about. I will check that out. Man, I've been just crazy, but I will check that out. I got to check into that. I've heard about it, but I never really got to check it out. And then you brought it up the last time. Hey, Chris, how you doing, bud? Everything good? He's sneaking around. I'm nobody important, but man, don't we hate on each other sometimes? Come on, let's not hate on each other. Yeah, I agree with you, Chapper. I totally agree with you, dude. That's the problem right now. Too much hate and not enough love. And it's a lot more than that, too. I miss my cabbage rolls. You know, my dad asked for cabbage rolls the other day, and I'm like, Dad, I've never made those before. I guess I'm going to have to learn. Yeah, he loves cabbage rolls. He's old school anyways. Would make a great movie, yeah. It probably would. But I'm sure that, well, there's all kinds of old 70s snake movies. You got, remember that movie? Used to tell suspects he was a drug sniffing. There you go. That's funny. Yeah. What do you do? He said, what's he do now? No, he's our drug sniffing iguana. He can get into places where dogs can't. Think about that. Called Snakes on a Wagon. There you go. Missouri. That's funny. You guys cracked me up. That'd be funny, though. Can you imagine somebody they're doing a raid on a house and the drug guys are all standing there, all of a sudden they bring in the iguanas. Bring in the iguanas. What? Yeah, I probably could. Oh, I know. But you want the recipes that people have. I don't mind internet recipes, but it's better to get. I know family members that have them, so I'll probably get one off of them. Everybody makes stuff differently and does it a little different, puts their own little twist on. So I like those home where you're getting it from somebody that makes good ones. See, I've never had them. I'm not one of those guys. But Dad loves them. He wanted something else. Oh, he wants me to make him some beans, some stewed beans. So I'll probably make him some of that and some cornbread because he likes that with a big old ham bone in it. That's nothing. Yeah, that's nothing hard to make. It's pretty simple. So I'm sure I can find I've got somebody around here that will give me a good recipe. When we were living in the hotel, the neighbor across the street here, I was home picking up one mail one day, and she come running over with this big old tub. And I'm like, oh, what are you doing, Kristen? She goes, this is for you guys to eat at the hotel. Oh, well, that's real sweet of you. And I get it. I didn't even look at it. And it was still kind of hot. I'm like, I thanked her 1,000 times. Took it back, and Dad opened it up, and it was homemade stewed beans, but it had carrots and a ham. I mean, it had the works. He was like in heaven. He ate that stuff like it was nothing. Then I had to listen to him all night. Ranch pork chops in the crock. Now I've done stuff like that, yeah. I made one thing that I'd heard. Well, actually, it was something my mom used to make. It was called mud chicken, and it was pretty good in the crock pot. It was basically chicken and dumplings. Okay, now I'm getting hungry. Yeah, that's the thing about when we get talking. That one night we talked about food all night, man. I was starving. I was wrong on the date. Really, it was before 1985. I was thinking of something else. Okay. Springfield, Missouri. The pinto beans, pintos with ham, onions and ham, fried taters. Yeah, see, now you're talking my dad's lingo. Yeah, now you're talking my dad's lingo. I'm not a big bean guy. I'm pretty simple, actually. And see, I'm getting ready to go on my fast because I always go on a fast at the end of the month. Kind of clean the old system out. So, but we're going to start here with the video here. Pretty soon now we got a pretty good group in here, 11 people. Hopefully people wander in. I saw Smoochie in here. I'm sure she's either watching or drinking her natty. Let's see, it's 12:29. You guys ready for this? Let me get it all queued up nicely and politely. Okay. Let's see here. This is the one thing I'm going to have to go back to, don't do that. Okay. I'm going to have to go back to using both screens again. So I'm going to do stuff like this. Okay, here we go. Yes, there we go. And everybody good? Can we see it? Let me see here. Real good. Not yet. Why is it not? Yeah. There we go. Let me put me down at the bottom there so you don't have to look at my ugly face. You can enjoy Gemma's. Growing up, my mother And Grandpa would make pintos. Yeah, see, that's what Dad come from, that kind of country too. We're ready when you are. Yep, it's coming. Okay, we're rocking. I gotta put myself on the bottom here. There, out of the way. There we go. And let's do this, folks. Now, this is listener encounters number 4, as you can see. And let's do this.
Guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, just welcome. My name is Gemma Jade, but today we have some more
Is
listener
it frozen? There we
encounters.
go.
I want to first thank everyone who has contributed your own encounters with the supernatural and or the paranormal for the past 3 volumes.
This was
Thank
2
you
years
guys
ago.
so much, and it just means so much to me that you trust me to be able to share these things,
Long
because I
Island,
know
what's
a
up,
lot of
bud? How
people
you
don't even
doing?
share these with those
Go to
closest
chat
to
here.
them. So just thank you so much for that. We have another one today because I have so many coming in, and I want to say, Charles Zook, I don't know what I did with your encounters, so can you please just send them again to GemmaJadeParanormal@gmail.com? And anyone out there who has had experiences or encounters with the supernatural and or paranormal, if you'd like me to recount and retell them for you, I really would love to do that. Just send them to GemmaJadeParanormal@gmail.com, and I'll definitely put anything you send in my listener stories or listener encounters series on this channel. So if your encounter is not in this video, I'm sure it'll be in the next one or the next one. I'm getting so many of these, I could probably film 3 a week if I have the time. So I know they're coming out fast, but you guys seem to be enjoying them. So let's start. From Sirach, possible succubus encounter while dreaming. Hey Gemma, I listened to my encounter and was very happy with how it turned out. You articulated it well. So, first off, I will leave all the juicy details out. I dreamed of gorgeous women in my bed, my room, my bed, my house. So, I'm an average looking guy, and she would be in an elite league all her own. The exact picture of Aphrodite in my mind to my taste. So, it was like multiple fantasies all in one dream. I couldn't perform that many times if I tried. LOL. Now I'm an average man. I have sexual dreams, 99% of which I never finish up. I always wake up right before. It's also stupid and bizarre. This was not that. This was something else entirely. At some point in the dream, I begin to get lucid. I'm looking at her, just entirely too gorgeous and perfect. Then I say to her, "Who are you? How did you get in here?" Meaning my bed. I will never forget the look on her face. Panic, like I was beginning to figure something out. She got up and started caressing my chest, saying, "Don't remember?" And an entire timeline just appeared in my head. Memories of me helping her move in next door. My neighbor had recently sold his house, so that kind of adds up. Clear, distinct memories. Also, she was very insistent that I not wear protection, which is also weird and something I would never do in real life. I've just always been that way. So after I started getting wise, the dream kind of just ended. When I woke up, I was just floored. I also felt kind of violated, unclean. And that look she had when I was getting wise, I'll never forget it. Let alone her doing things that usually a guy would have to pay for, kind of like she knew exactly what turned me on specifically. Now, I must admit, I fondly remember this dream. If I was to take all my sexual highlights from my life and roll them all into one experience, this was it. So, first thing I thought of was a succubus. I could just imagine if she turned into an old, decrepit hag lady. Oh, I just got crazy shivers. I guess I'll end on that note. I have a few other interesting dreams to share. Also, I've been thinking about my jellyfish encounter nonstop. It's really bothering me. Do I have an attachment, perhaps? I don't know. I'm literally obsessed with death, all things dark and macabre. I see death as perfect, a part of life to be honored and respected. We are only guaranteed one thing in life, and that's death. We only get one chance at it. Might as well approach it with grace and admiration as opposed to fear. See you on the next live stream. Stay spooky. Sirach 1331. Sirach, thank you so much for sharing that. It definitely sounds like succubus activity. Was there actually a neighbor next door, or was that just like implanted memories? Please clarify that for me because I'm very curious. Guys, this email got a little bit explicit, and I don't really know what I can and can't say about the monetization thing. And I try not to worry about that too much. So I did change a few words around, but I really hope I did it justice. Sirach is also the person from Listener Encounters Volume 3 that had the electronic, like 7 foot tall jellyfish entity. It was crazy. If you didn't catch it, go back and listen because I'm still trying to figure that out. I know it's bothering you. I can't even imagine what you must be going through, especially the reason that you're thinking it's demonic. I have been researching, I haven't found anything yet, but that doesn't mean that I won't. So hang in there and have faith in me. I will help you out as best I can because I am definitely curious about it too. And I know Steve is as well. So, Sirach, again, thank you so much. Our next encounter comes from Stella, and Stella is a regular in the live streams and in the comments. She is a fan of Stemma, me and Steve, Gemma and Steve, Steve and Gemma, Stemma. Okay. She has been trying for weeks to send me this story, this encounter, but it just I keep getting half of it and then I'll get the other half, but it's not together, but it's missing a piece in the middle. So I don't know what that was there, if something was trying to stop her from actually telling the story, but we persevered. We did not give up. And here it is. Hi again, Gemma. Attempt number 3. If this doesn't work, then I'll take it to my mother, or the universe does not want me to tell my tale. I'm a great fan and have just finished listening to your listeners' videos number 2. It got me thinking about a few things that have happened to me. One such incident is something I've not shared with a lot of people. My mother died in 1995. I remember one day waking up with the absolute certainty that something was wrong with her. At the time, I lived in Bristol, England, and my parents lived back home. Telephone lines were really dodgy then, not like now where everyone has a mobile phone. I spent all day trying to get in touch with her, more and more certain something was wrong. I couldn't. So, frantic and bawling my eyes out, I called my aunt, who was in another city, demanding to know what was wrong with my mom. Everybody was practically swearing on a stack of Bibles that she was fine. I found out later that they didn't know anything was wrong either. I finally got hold of my mom the next day. She assured me she was fine. She lied. It turned out that she had a rare form of cancer. After that day, however, I would have the strong urge to call her. I would be told she was out and they weren't sure when she'd be back, or that she would be back in the evening if I wanted to call back then. When I spoke to her again, I'd ask how she was, and she would assure me that there was nothing wrong. She lied again. In the end, my dad told us what was going on, and we brought her over to the UK for treatment. It was one of those times while I sat with her in hospital that she looked at me and shook her head. She said, You are so in tune. I asked her what she meant, and she told me that every time she went into hospital, I would call. If not that day, then on the day she would be coming home, sometimes even on both days. She said I did it to the point where she told everyone that I would call and to tell me she was out, or if it was on the day she was coming home, to tell me to call back in the evening. I never missed a day. Suffice it to say that the treatment didn't work and I took her back home. I returned to the UK as, of course, I had to go back to work. Then the weirdest thing happened. One night I dreamt she came to me. She was dressed all in white. She said she was going now. In that dream, I held on tight to her clothes and told her, You can't leave me. You said you'd wait for me. I was still holding on to her clothes, refusing to let her go, and crying that she said she'd wait for me when I woke up. That morning, I got a call from my sister to say she died in the night. I still puzzle over the fight I had with her and what I said to her. She was adamant that I needed to stay, and I was absolutely determined that she would keep her promise. I've never been able to figure the whole thing out. That's it. That's my weird story. One of them, anyway. Perhaps I'll be able to screw up enough courage to tell another sometime. They frighten me. I'm a wuss. If anyone has any idea what that fight and the words are, perhaps they could share it. Thank you so much for letting me share this story. I've only ever told 1 or 2 people, and I think they thought I lost my mind temporarily when I lost my mom. Feel free to use my name. Blessings, Stella. Stella, I understood it completely. I am really, really glad that you sent this in. Yay. Some people really do have that connection with their mother, that connection with their child. You know, a child's choking 3,000 miles away, and the mother calls the babysitter or the parent or whoever's watching the kid is like, go check on so and so, they're choking. It could go both ways like that. It just probably means you have this cosmic or soulmate connection with your mom, which does happen, by the way. Soulmates are real, but they're not what a lot of people think. Oh, that's my soulmate. Well, very well could be. But in my opinion, and from what I've learned from my research, is that soulmates are actually your soul's best friend, their mate in heaven, who helps them graph out their life chart for what they're going to do when they're born. I can get into a whole thing on my beliefs on that, but I don't want to start a religious debate. If you guys want to hear more about what I think about soulmates and heaven and hell and all that, I will gladly let you guys know. It won't be a religious thing, I promise, just some opinions. So soulmates can be anybody. They can be your child, they can be your mother, they can be, you know, your neighbor, and you just don't know it. So I definitely believe you probably had a soulmate or at least a soul connection with your mother. That's not something a lot of people have. In the dream, you were probably just so desperate to have her hold on. You're dreaming, so a lot of things might be nonsensical, right? So telling her she has to keep her promise and asking her to stay, like maybe somehow she could. Maybe in your dream, that was the little girl in you reaching out to your mama, like, Mommy, don't leave me. You never know. Stranger things have happened. I'm so glad this finally came through. And again, thank you so, so much for sharing it. I hope you do muster up the courage to send me some more, because I absolutely love telling these encounters and these stories for you guys and hopefully doing them justice. So, Stella, thanks, girl. What would a listener encounters video of mine be without an encounter or story from our very own Jason Zorn? Yes, he's back. I am working on a video just of Jason's encounters, experiences, and stories, as well as our friend Debbie. I'm also giving her her own, but I've decided to include one of each of their stories in this one too, because there are so many and they're just so interesting. So here we are. I have 3 stories of people I know personally who have died and went to hell. The third story is actually the most terrifying to me because that's what's really changed me as far as how I treat people. The first story is a friend of mine named Mark. A medical event occurred causing him to go into emergency surgery. Due to medical malpractice, he died on the surgery table for nearly 30 minutes. He awoke to find himself naked in a dark earthened pit with slimy dirt walls. It was dark and cold, except for a light above him. Loneliness filled him and an overwhelming sense of dread. He cried out to God, but got nothing but muffled laughter coming from beneath him. He tried climbing the dirt walls around him, but to no avail. He sat and cried. Eventually, the light above him grew, and he felt a loving warmth that was tangible reach down and touch him. And then he was waking up on the surgery table, nurses and doctors running about doing things, and one of them said, "We have a heartbeat now, let's get him stable." He still suffers from the mistakes made with his IVs and other things, but he will never forget the real experience that he had had. And the simplicity of this is what really got me when I first read it. A lot of the times I don't read through the stories. I just see your guy's name, see that it's a story, and choose it. So it does take me a little bit longer to film because I'm constantly making mistakes. But the simplicity of this is what really gets me. There was no lake of fire or burning pit. It was just his own kind of personal hell, digging himself a deeper hole. I wonder what he was about in his life at that point in time. And Jason, if that's what changed you and turned you into the amazing and awesome person you are today, or at least if it helped, then I'm glad that the experience was had. Unfortunately, a friend had to suffer, but in my opinion, being a Christian, to us, that's what hell is, an eternal separation from God and our Lord and Savior. So I can definitely see this as being a real near-death encounter of hell. I totally 100% believe it. Story 2 is a lady I know who died in the hospital due to a heart attack. She found herself in a very dark place that felt so lonely. Yet there were horrible creatures approaching her, and they were laughing and mocking her and reaching with twisted, clawed, gnarled hands and actually tearing her skin. "We're taking her," they hissed, and then she was revived by the doctors. So, yeah, this sounds a lot like what I mentioned in the 10 most commonly reported events in near-death experiences of hell. I know that's a mouthful, but I do have a video of it. I also have one of heaven and one of purgatory, or the waiting place, waiting space, coming out. So demons tearing at your skin, scratching you, literally ripping or chewing, eating your skin off your bone, while you feel every single touch that they give to you, right? Every single bite, every single tear, until you're nothing but bone. You're still alive feeling it, and the minute the last piece of skin or muscle or whatever is off you, it all grows back for the demons to be able to do it again. Welcome to hell. The third story was told to me by a very sweet old woman I'd met. She was homeless and living in her car, but she had the kindest smile. She told me she had died and found herself hanging upside down in this great void of darkness, and hands were reaching up to her, crying out in torment. And she cried out to God. And then it seemed to her like an angel approached beside her and placed his hand on her. And she begged of the angel, "Why am I here?" And the angel replied, "Because there's someone in your life that you have not forgiven yet." And she knew who the angel was speaking of. And then she forgave that person. And immediately she was back in her body. I knew her for over a year. Sweetest, kindest person ever. Unfortunately, she later passed away again. But now at least I know she's in heaven. Jason, thank you so much. Again, I always tell you guys, kindness is like forgiveness. It's for the person who's giving it. That is so true. Forgiveness is for you all. So you're not holding on to that hate. So it's not taking up space in your mind or in your heart. So always try your very best to forgive. Forgiveness does not have to equal reconciliation. Just because you forgive somebody, they don't even need to know that you forgive them. Always forgive, guys, even if you can't forget. So I have another story from Jason Zorn. And Jason, this is the last one. Anything else that you send me from here on out, like the next 4 or 5, are going to go into your own video. And Debbie, same thing. Yours are next. So this one is called Ghost Light Road. Across the vast spans of Southeast Texas is a place known as the Big Thicket. It's a very large national forest and the only place in the North American continent to be officially declared as jungle. A forest so thick one can barely see beyond 6 feet in front of you. Within the midst of the Big Thicket lies a 22-mile stretch of straight dirt road, locally called Ghost Light Road. It has an official name, but I can't remember it at the moment. It used to be a railroad track back in the late 1800s and early 1900s until the railroad eventually tore up the tracks and left only a dirt road in its wake. The story goes that a railroad worker who used to stand by the tracks at night with a lantern would let the train engineer know where to stop by swinging the lantern at night. Legend has it he was beheaded or something by some accident or another concerning the train. There are probably dozens of similar stories across America, but there on that dirt road in the middle of the Big Thicket at night remains another mystery. But there are so many weird stories about the Big Thicket in general. It's a huge Sasquatch hotspot. Dogmen, creatures of the stuff of nightmares. The Big Thicket is full of those tales. My brother had a creature sighting there while going down Ghost Light Road at night because he was stupidly trying to impress some girl he was with that night. Scared the crap out of both of them. He described the creature to me, and I still can't even explain what it was he said he saw. Jason, I think you're absolutely right. Almost every town in America has something like Ghost Light Road. It's kind of like a lady in white story or something like that, or every town has some kind of bridge in it, you know, at least every state, right? There's always myths and legends in a lot of small towns, especially. And this one sounds really interesting. I'm from New Jersey. I'm in northern New Jersey. I'm originally from Passaic County, but I've since moved a few years ago. And we have something around here called Clinton Road. I think a lot of you guys, even people I know like in Ireland, did videos. They came here to do videos on Clinton Road. So it's the same thing. And those stories always creep me out. As much as I think I'm so tough and like I want to go to these places, I'm such a wuss too, because once I get there, if it's nighttime, I'm like, just drive. Like there's no way I'm getting out of the car. There's no way whoever's driving is stopping the car. Like it's just not happening. So I remember going with my friend Mark, like I was having a really bad day. So I called him. He was my neighbor. I didn't really know him that well. But the first thing we ever did, he took me to dinner. I think we went to Houlihan's, but anyway, we were up near this place, Clinton Road, and it was nighttime, and I filmed the whole thing. I was so terrified and scared. He, of course, thought it was adorable. Those were his words, not mine. I thought it was infuriating because I was going to kill him. He kept going to stop the car and pull over to the side of the road. If you guys aren't familiar, look up the legend of Clinton Road in New Jersey. I think Steve and I have covered it. So Jason Zorn, thank you so very much. And the next time one of your stories are told or your encounters are told, it's going to be in your very own video, The Paranormal World of Jason Zorn. I think that'll bring in a lot of views. A lot of people love your stories. Our next story comes from Deb B, and it's a few little stories that she sent me. Deb, if you can send me like a few stories that are just a little bit longer, I would also like to give you your own video. It'll be the paranormal world of Miss Deb B or Debbie, because you said to refer to you as Deb B or Debbie, but it's kind of both the same thing. So I might switch back and forth. Either way, I'm speaking of Debbie, who was also in the last volume, volume 3 of Listener Encounters. And here we go. Hi, Deb B here with several stories I hope you enjoy. Each one is true. These are short experiences. Then, on another occasion, myself and some neighboring boys had gotten off at our bus stop, and Den Brother was teasing me about predicting things. And he asked me what I saw about him. I looked at him for a minute and told him he was going to step in a hole and break his arm. 3 weeks later, he stepped into a rabbit hole, fell, and broke his arm. There was another occasion that's sad. It was the end of the school year, and as we were exiting the bus, we thanked the driver. He wished us well and to have a good summer, and he'd see us in the fall, and closed the doors and drove off. I turned to my neighbor and told him we wouldn't see that driver in the fall because he was going to have a heart attack and not make it. Come fall, we had a new driver. Our other driver had suffered a heart attack and died. Got more stories. Going to take a short intermission. Deb, thank you so much. I do have the other ones. Just send me a few more if you can make them a little longer. If not, that's fine. A collection of shorts would be just as good. It just might take me a little longer to get them out. Guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone who sent in your encounters. Charles Zook, I'm going to try to get in touch with you. I cannot find what I did with your encounter. It's like not anywhere. So if you can please email it to me, because it was a really good one and I was really looking forward to telling it in this edition. But I'll be filming more next Sunday, so it'll just be in the next one. I love you guys so much. Please give this video a big thumbs up, not just if you enjoyed spending time with me and hanging out with me, but also for the people who came forward, sent their encounters in, and who were so brave to do so. Please remember, and I know I don't have to say this because I haven't had any issues yet, to be respectful in the comments of other people and their feelings, their experiences. You know, our experiences shape who we are, and whether you believe or you don't believe, it's very brave to put yourself out there like that. Guys, do me a big favor and check out the description box. There will be links there to my 3 live streams that I do every week. Sunday night fireside chat, that's with Stemma, me, and Steve Stockton from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern time on missing persons and mysteries. Wednesday night, Stemma again, myself and Steve Stockton, my partner in true crime and real evil, on Zombified's channel from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern time. And Friday night's campfire stories with myself and Steve, again on missing persons and mysteries from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern time, United States. I don't know how time zones work, if there even are any in other countries, guys. Geography and all that kind of stuff, that's not geography, is not my thing. I showed this in the live stream, but for those of you who didn't see it, I got this on the boardwalk last week, and it says always choose kind. I think I might put it over here. I'm not sure because my head's kind of blocking it. Let me know what you think. That's my jam. Be kind to each other, guys. It doesn't cost anything, and it'll actually make you feel really good. Kindness is like forgiveness. It's for the person giving it. Smile at a stranger. Have your best day. Have your best night. And I will see you guys next time. Keep those stories coming in, and I'll see you in the comments. Bye-bye.
And I'm on mute. Yes, I am. But yeah, Mike, the jellyfish thing. Yeah, there's a guy. We went to Eldora to some races, dirt track up there, and he told me we were sitting. There's a diner there, and one of the farmers was telling me stories about. He said he'd seen it like 3 times, and it was like a jellyfish. That he said it like was like neon, and it kind of glowed, and he'd see it in the sky. But I'll have to pull those stories out. Yeah, because it's one of my favorite stories. No, I'm not muted anymore. I'm good. I mean, you can hear me, right? I thought I fixed it. Unless I came unplugged. Nope. Nope, I'm good. So, you guys ready for the next one, or you want to take a little break, shoot the crap a little bit? Am I still muted? No, I can hear myself. I don't want to hear myself because I know how I sound. Yeah, I haven't seen it. You haven't seen what? Okay, cool. Thanks. But yeah, there's some good stories in that one. But the one from the jellyfish, man, that was always a good one. The last one and the other one and 3, because I've heard stories, and it wasn't just in Sydney. I've heard stories too. We've heard stories up and around Northwest, around the lake. Really weird story. There's a quarry that used to be over here that everybody used to go swim in, and it was considered dead water. And out of the strangest, they had to shut it down because jellyfish were showing up in there. These little weird looking jellyfish, and nobody could figure it out. They closed it down, sucked all the water out, took off with the jellyfish. It was really wild, and that was kept real quiet. The only reason I knew about it was because we used to go there and swim. We used to cliff dive. There was like a little, but it was interesting. But yeah, you jump in the water, and a couple people got out real fast, and they had gotten little stings on them. I mean, it didn't make them sick or anything, but it was like a bee sting. But yeah, that was in 3. Some of the stories in this one are pretty good. So you hear you fine. Thank you, Mark. But yeah, the 5. I'm gonna get 5 going here. People dump their fish in tanks. Oh yeah, in those places. But the problem was there was no fish. It was jellyfish. You would have a bunch of little baby jellyfish. You know what I'm saying? They were weird looking too. They were they were clear, and they had these like red streaks in them. They did think it was some kind of biological. I don't know. They tried to explain, but all I know is we went to go swim one day. The day before we were there, and that's when the people got stung. And I think one person got a little sick, but it was like nothing major. And next thing we know, we went back the next day, and somebody, I think one of the people called, was it parks? I mean, yeah, wildlife people, and they went out there and tested the water and caught a bunch of them. But it was weird because it didn't take them long to drain it. I mean, they literally drained it. It was just nothing but a big hole in the ground. They filled it all in, and they put apartments on top of it. I think they're condos now, but it looks nice. But yeah, it was weird. Yeah, I wanted to keep one. I was going to go back and catch one and put it in one of my tanks and see what the deal was. Because jellyfish are weird things, anyways. They're kind of like octopuses. They have this weird vibe about them. On Mike's channel, he was talking about with a friend how a bunch of them talking heads in the woo world claimed they were some type of sec ops or had high level TS clearance and BS. Really? I might get this. That's interesting. Yeah, I got a couple of friends that kind of work for Homeland Security, but they never told me any good stories. I'm sure they had some. Then I have a buddy right now that's overseas. He's in Vietnam doing stuff. That's your world, yeah. You probably know that world. Let me get this other one. Good. I didn't close it out, did I? Did I really? No, I didn't. Come on. Let me get this going here. Go back. Why did it do that? Nope, I didn't want to do that. I'm going to shrink this. No, I can't shrink that up. Pull this out a little bit. So I can get to the next video. Oh, it's going to make me do it again. Because 5th is not that far after that. Next time I'm going to tag them. It'll be a lot easier. I'm just wasting time kind of filling the gaps. I used to go to quarries looking for fossils, found a lot of mammoth. You probably did. I wouldn't doubt that. Now, we used to find arrowheads by the quarry all the time. And then up here, you just walk through the farm fields after they plow. You're amazed at what you can find. We found all kinds of shit. We were finding musket balls. Okay, here we go. Here's 4, and here's 5. Let me get it up. Okay, she got a breakaway there. I don't know. I'm gonna play the intro. She actually put an intro on this one, but it's taking forever. Come on, load you dingy ding dong. What happened? Oh, quit. That was weird. Why is it doing that? Let's try this again. That was weird. I just play. Wait, hold on. Go. There we go. Let's see if I can get it on time this time. She looks cute in this one. I remember this one. Okay, here we go. My clearance lever is about a 4. Midget. How funny. Okay, let's do this. Remember, gravel pits are big for it. Yeah, I bet they are. And their backgrounds are. That's funny. Okay, let's do this. Oops, I started it too soon without even getting on there. 1 second. Ding dong me. Quit. It's giving me a problem. Stop. There we go. Okay. Now put this over here. Okay. Present. Yeah, I'm having issues again. But then again, it's nothing new. Here we go. Share. We're up. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Go back. Stop. I just stream myself within streaming myself here. Okay. Let's try this again. That was weird. Okay. There it is. What happened? Move. Get out of my way. Okay. There we go. Screen. There we go. There we go. You didn't want to look at my ugly face twice. Okay. Here we go. You guys folks ready? Here we go.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, just welcome. My name is Gemma Jade, but today we are already going to be discussing Listener Encounters Volume 5. Yay! So I am about to also film the paranormal world of Jason Zorn and the paranormal world of Deb B. If you want your own full video, send me at least 3, at most 5 or more. I mean, I could do a series just on you. Send me enough content to fill at least 20 minutes is what I'm trying to say. And I'll give you your own paranormal video. It just kind of worked out that way because Jason and Deb have sent me so many. I might include one from each of them in this one as well, depending on how long the other ones are. So with all that being said, I absolutely love this. Let's just jump right in. Our first encounter comes from Christian, and it's called Daycare Guardian. Hi, Gemma. I recently discovered your channel and I enjoy the content. My name is Christian. I wanted to send you a story about the daycare I work at. Just for context, it's a 5-bedroom house converted to a daycare. For my boss's privacy, I won't be using the name of the daycare or her name. Totally understandable, Christian. I've worked at the same daycare for about the past 4 years. My first year there, I admit, had me kind of scared originally, but now, in an odd way, it all seems kind of normal. My first day, one of the kids named Emily, she was 4 years old, began talking about her big brother. I, at the time, just thought, "Aw, she must admire her big brother a lot." I later talked to her parents when they picked her up that day. To say I was a bit shocked would have been an understatement when they told me Emily was an only child. I passed it off as an imaginary friend from an imaginative and possibly lonely little girl. As time went on, it turned to winter and I'd forgotten about Emily's big brother. One day, Joey, a 6-year-old, and Emma, his little sister, age 5, came and told me the toy room was freezing. I went in and it was noticeably colder compared to the rest of the daycare. I checked the vent to see if it was blocked. It was still blowing out hot air, so that wasn't it. None of the windows were opened, and I had no idea. I went to the kids and told them to stay out of the toy room till we figure out what had happened. Miss Rachel, I'll call her. She and a handyman went in to check and told me the room was warm like the rest of the building, and they were as perplexed as I was. Part of my job is checking on the babies. We have a room sectioned for pretty much any need a baby may have. Diaper change table with extra diapers and wipes, cribs for naps, and even bottle warmers. Sometimes I'd look in and one of them would be giggling up a storm or babbling and no one was in there. One day I checked on little Lucas. He was fussing, so I picked him up to try and comfort him. I slipped on something and fell back. I wrapped Lucas up and braced for the pain. Then I was caught mid-fall. There was no one else in the room. I was caught and lifted back to my feet. Then I heard humming like a lullaby. I took Lucas and booked it to Miss Rachel and told her everything. I was shocked when she just smiled and acted like it was normal. She told me it was Joey. The what the hell must have shown on my face, and she explained that Joey was a longtime employee who all of the kids affectionately named Big Brother. He sadly died in a car accident a year prior to my being hired. She explained the kids can see and interact with him, and they do too, being so young and pure. She told of her own experiences. The rocking chair Joey read to the kids in would rock on its own. If she needed something but forgot where it was, she'd turn around and it would be behind her. She also heard about new kids who never met Joey talking about having a big brother. Sorry for it being a bit long and not scary, but I'm actually happy. My first brush with the spirit world was such a good one. Christian, the encounters don't have to be long and they don't have to be scary. It is a little creepy whenever, to some people, it's a little creepy whenever there's spirit around. And I'm also really glad that your first encounter with the paranormal was good as well. A lot of us don't have that luxury. Right now, I'm dealing with an imaginary friend situation with my 3-year-old, and I'm wondering the same thing. Is this an imaginary friend situation or is this something else? Because he used to see an entity called Man who used to tease him, and now it's his friend. So I'm not sure. I'll keep you guys posted on that. Christian, thank you so much for sending this in. If you have anything else, please don't hesitate to contact me at the same exact email and we'll get you in another video or just talk privately. Thanks again. Our next encounter is called Union Cemetery Story. Hi, Gemma. My name is Eric. In 1994, the Warrens came to my college at Eastern Connecticut State. They did a seminar and showed video and pictures of Lorraine with orbs in the cemetery with people taking pictures. Ed took video of the white lady who many had had encounters with. So my roommate and 4 other friends decided to take a 45-minute drive to Eastern to Union Cemetery. It was 11 p.m., and back then you could go there without any police or issues. So it's a piece of road of the main highway strip surrounded by houses to the one side. The road is tiny and you can turn around from the back area. So we went through the whole cemetery. Nothing was seen, nothing was heard. So we walked back towards the road in the car, completely disappointed, when all of a sudden we heard a girl scream so loud it could have pierced our souls. The hair on the back of my neck stood up like it is now while I'm telling you this, and we all ran like little children to the car. My roommate said, "No way, we came here to see something." So we walked up a gravel path in the front, which is now paved over. Some of us were smoking, and I asked what time it was, and someone said 1 a.m., and then I turned my head. So I turned my head and I got that buzz across the forehead, like right before some paranormal thing comes into play. And I heard footsteps heading towards me. I saw a bright white orb go behind my roommate who was in front of me. It went through the back of his head and then came out and went through my forehead and did the same to the other 2 in a snake-like way. It ended by going through the last guy who was smoking and it popped out of his forehead. He instantly dropped his cigarette and we all left together, slowly in unison. We went back to the car and no one said a word about what had happened. Loud music was played to cover up what we had all experienced. Later, back in our dorm, my roommate said, "Eric, I know what we all saw, and that orb went right through all of our heads, and no one even wants to talk about it." That was the last time it was ever mentioned. I did not get any pictures, but that orb going right through my head and my friends, it was done for a reason, I believe. Maybe to scan us or see our true selves. Great experience nonetheless. And I have to say, this was sent in 2 different parts because Eric goes on to say, "Sorry, I sent it unfinished by mistake," meaning the first part. "I'm having so many problems writing this. Something doesn't want me to." And I believe that that can happen. I'm not really sure what it is. Maybe it was just a spirit, like you said, scanning you guys, seeing if it wanted to follow one of you guys. I would be interested to know if any of you have had recurring nightmares or recurring paranormal activity since this had happened. I know it happened in 1994. Ed and Lorraine Warren were definitely there. So who knows if they had an attachment, although I'm sure that they would probably be able to make sure they don't leave anything with them that follow them. I don't know. An orb going through people's heads and backs, that sounds really scary to me. Orbs go through people all the time, but it's just the way that I can picture it going through, and it gives me the creeps. Definitely don't envy that experience either. And I don't do well with cemeteries because of seeing full bodied apparitions. I don't do very well in cemeteries at all. And I also don't do well at funerals, like in funeral homes. No. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing that, Eric. I really appreciate it. And if you ever have any other encounters with the supernatural and or paranormal, send them this way and we'll get you in another video. So thank you, Eric. Yay!
Yeah, she probably wouldn't do too good by my house. We talked about that one time about me living next to a cemetery. Probably drive her a little nuts.
Our next listener encounter comes from my friend Chucky Chuck, and this is the second one he sent me, but I decided to put this one in because I can't find the first one. It's called Story Time. Hey, what's up? So, round two. Dude, it would be so badass if I could get on with you somehow because this is a lot to tell. But man, like, you have no idea how happy I'd be and how much I need something positive at the moment. But I died at birth. I just came out like that. I don't know if that's relevant, but I've been told by a shaman and healers, etc., that I have a gift, a powerful one. Anyway, I've always been into this paranormal stuff. My lifeblood and I just effing know things. It's weird, but it's my normal. Totally feel you there. When I was 17, before drugs or anything, but this is connected, I'll explain later. But I'd love to be in a recovery story also. It's a crazy one. I read anything I could find, and when seeking knowledge about paranormal experiences, I have had a great deal of them, but I heard about this book that I don't like to mention the name and was told not to read it unless you were knowledgeable. Well, I found it and couldn't help it. I read this damn book, supposed to open doorways, bring the invisible into visibility. Be careful, Gemma. So I didn't just read it, I kind of obsessed over it. It wasn't long before it started. I felt my whole conscious shift overnight, really. I began just seeing 333 everywhere. I think I partially summoned an Archon. I woke to it, clocks on the clock as the microwave was stopped 3 minutes and 33 seconds. I woke one night and decided to listen to C2CAM and practice guitar, and of course, it was 333. I slid the coffee pot across the dry counter, and the sound it made was, "We're here." I swear, I wish I was lying. I saw myself standing behind myself shaving one day, and I had pits where my eyes should be. It was effing traumatizing. No one knew how to help. Before the cell phone and Google era, really, and my close friends told me they felt it or saw it behind me at times as a large black shadow. It wouldn't let me around. I knew about the shadow man, hat man, shimmering entity. I'd seen them all. I have a shadow attachment, peeks from behind the walls, flees when I see him. I thought even he may be a future version of me, not wanting to be seen. I've heard high pitched whistles, no S, almost like a dog. Every time I tell this, stuff starts happening. I had a big argument with my buddy's dad, and he died at 3:33 that same night. I could not and would not make this S up. I would go to this haunted mansion and things would follow me and go nuts. Okay, whole other story. Well, needless to say, I ended up burning the book. About 66 months later, I saw another one, an unabridged version, and I couldn't resist. Like an addiction, I read it. And I kid you not, the extra 45 pages or so, two of which I'll disclose so you know I'm for real, were about the others, pushing to get the book. The public were effing haunted by it. This 333 and synchronicity stuff, and horrible stuff happens to them. This is kind of off topic, and not a lot of people know this stuff. Well, I catch an episode of this clowns on Ghost Adventures, and they are playing with this book like it's a joke as the show is ending. I can hear one of the guys talking out the Bizzard 333 stuff he keeps saying. It's dangerous. People may think it's a joke. It's a really ancient book of the rights that Crowley, John Dee, Jack Parsons, all of them used it. Beetlejuice from the movies, well, Tim Burton took him from the book as well. The Zuli god in Ghostbusters on top of the building. Yep, same thing. The slave driving underground cult in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Yep, they're worshiping the ancient ones from this book, and it's contagious. The other night, as soon as I sent it, my phone slid off the table and cracked. My girlfriend broke up with me over the phone on my vacation. I got locked out of my stock account, bank overdrawn. Then you deleted it on accident, meaning this story. Even right now, I'm having a hard time. I was reading on invisible entities, effing you, your loved ones, heads and actions up to feed off of the negativity. They create archons, the Gnostics call them. And I believe elites use them in ley line areas to open portals and manipulate the mass public to keep us all in a struggling, anxious state. Very soon after this, my life fell apart. Long story, but I believe for the vibrational change in energy I received from the book, I was unprepared and did not pay my dues. It took what it wanted, everything from me, ruined my life, spirit, and mind for many years. I'm sober now, but I still see the shadow, as do others. It still F's with me. Plus, it plays games. I've had it shake a prison cell, me and the other guy, to shut me the F up other times as well. Let me know if I can add to this because chapter 2 is my addiction crap. This was just the tip of the iceberg. P.S. The Evil Dead movies also spun off the book, but don't be fooled. It's a doorway. Crowley used it to summon the first Gray in modern times. Cairo, 1914, the entity wrote the Book of the Law through Crowley. When Crowley died with the portal still open, he died in 46. The UFO flap really started in 47. The Germans knew it and jumped on board. Also, I think CERN plays a big part in controlling these energy areas and portals. Hit me back. I could go all night. Save this time. So I hope you guys got the general gist of that because what he was saying was actually very serious. Normally, I just open up and read, and it takes me a lot of takes sometimes when people get excited, like Chucky Chuck did. They kind of type really fast. I do it all the time. If you're ever in live streams with me, you'll see. So I'm going to go through this with Chucky Chuck, with you, and we're going to kind of condense it down, and I'm going to put it in another encounter story to make it a little bit more easy to understand. But I'm keeping it in here because playing with the Book of the Dead it's not playing. Chucky Chuck, thank you so much for sharing that with us. You and I are going to get together, kind of go through it, and you're going to give me more details so I can better explain what it is you're trying to say here. So thank you. Yay. I did save it. I'm going to archive it now and start it so that I can get to it very easily. I have to find the first one. That'll be in the next one, most likely. Hit me up. Thank you so much again. So our next encounter comes from our very own Jason Zorn. And even though I'm giving him his own video, I thought listener encounters would not be complete without a story from him. And plus, I have so many here. So I'm just randomly picking one. And this one's called A Ouija Board Tale. You know, most people will dismiss Ouija boards as just child's play, just a little innocent game for them to fawn over during the weekend to keep the little future criminals busy while the parents have a drink or two and then go to sleep or whatever. But Ouija boards are actually a very serious thing. Sure, you can make a Ouija board out of most anything. You don't have to buy one at Walmart or Toys R Us. They're not toys. Not at all. I can make one out of paper and a shot glass still dripping with Wild Turkey 101 and it'll work the same. It's the principle of finding a means to get that spirit to communicate with you. That's it. Once communication is established, then buckle your seatbelts because the ride is about to get bumpy. 1987 was a very special year to me because 1987 was a paranormal year of activity and it leapt me really into a whole new phase of paranormal activity because of the lifestyles that I chose. One thing I declare is never involve yourself with the Ouija board ever. I cannot be the person to tell people what to do, but I am the perfect person to tell people what they should not do. In fact, if I find a Ouija board in my house at all, I will burn it in the front yard, and the person who brought it will be absolutely wishing they never met me. Seriously. 1987, me, my girlfriend, her brother, my brother, a couple of my girlfriend's girlfriends, we were all hanging out being stupid, of course. And we found this Ouija board in the back closet of my girlfriend's mom's. Well, freaking cool. We all espoused. How much fun can this be? We wondered. The wondering didn't last long. Let me tell a secret. Demons, other spirits of the earth, just like humans, almost always think it's a game. Yeah, for those spirits and demons, it's a game too. And they're already 4 moves ahead of you on the chessboard because people stupidly talk out loud to investigators who visit their locations. And do these people not realize that these things can hear them talking just as clearly as you or I can? Stupid a little. It's like if I'm trying to talk to you about some, let's say, Kim, fictitious person. So you and me are talking about Kim, and Kim is sitting like 3 feet from us, and we act like she doesn't hear anything. What? Stupid. These things hear you when you verbally speak. They can't read your mind. Even the holy angels can't do that. Only God can. But if you speak out loud, these things can hear you. So we take this Ouija board and start playing around with it. And after a time, the piece on the board begins to move all by itself. It gives names and interestingly numbers, and soon the lamps on the house start flickering. A few seconds later, they turn off. Then the Ouija board flies out of our hands and hits the wall next to the kitchen. Everyone is just totally freaked out at this moment. And then a voice quietly says out of nowhere, "Buried here." And everybody dashes out of the house to the garage and light up cigarettes, saying, "What the F, man?" We're in true Jason Zorn fashion. I absolutely love it. I've had a few experiences with the Ouija board, and again, like you said, none of them have been good. And I always wondered that too. I can't believe you even said that because nobody else has ever really like comprehended what I was trying to say, even though it's so easy. Don't you realize when you say, "I'm going to use this Ouija board to contacted Jim," whatever evil or anything, any kind of entity that wants some attention, whether it's evil or not, is lurking around that board or attached to that board or coming through that board or whatever that you're summoning, can hear you say that you want to use the board to talk to Jim. So it's going to say to Jim to get the attention or to gain your trust and possibly possess you. All kinds of things can happen with the Ouija board. So yeah, Jason, thank you so much for this encounter. I'm going to put one more encounter in this video that I just found. It's called A Long Ass Story. When I was much younger, I think about 8 or 9, my siblings and I lived with my aunt back home. At this point, most parents who were abroad studying did not take children with them and made arrangements for relatives to look after their kids. Both my parents were in the UK studying. My dad, a poor medical student, couldn't afford to have all three of us over there. I had been, even as a child, what I've come to believe is known as sensitive. For example, when we were at my aunt's, my siblings and I slept in one room. For some reason, which is too long winded, there was a fire in the room. I woke up and heard my aunt going to the bathroom. I scrambled up and told her that the room was on fire. We woke my older cousin and she supposedly put out the fire. This happened 2 more times. The thing is, my dad had 3 kids. All three were in that room. He would have been devastated. The odd thing about this is everybody else was absolutely zonked out. It wasn't even a smoke filled room that I woke up to. I just snapped awake each time. Anyway, fast forward to my original story. I've always had a sensitive bladder. When I was younger, if I told an aunt I needed the loo, they'd drop everything and either search for the nearest bushes or the nearest loo, whichever was closest. I hear that. They did this because 2 seconds after this statement, there would be a puddle. We were out one evening visiting relatives when I said the dreaded, "I want to wee." My aunt was, of course, immediately pleading for me to hold on. We were actually on the way to her friend's house, which was just around the corner. When we got there, and she asked me to come out of the car and told everyone else to stay put. This is where it gets really strange. As we entered the house, all thought of using the bathroom disappeared. I was good. I told her that I didn't want to go in. I wanted nothing to do with that house. She practically ordered me into the house, reminding me that I needed to wee. I told her that I didn't want to go in. Finally, we went in. She said, "There's a loo in that room. Go use it." I will never know why she did that. I have my theories, but that's just what they are, theories. My aunt was odd, to say the very least. So, really desperate again, I went dashing into this room, repeating, "Don't we, don't we, don't we." Halfway across the room, I looked to my right. I was startled and was about to start apologizing because there's someone on the bed with cotton wool stuffed up her nose. I'm thinking, how can she breathe with that up her nose? Then I realized she wasn't breathing. She was dead. I was absolutely rooted to that spot. Now, back home, this was common. People are brought home and a wake is held before they are taken to be buried. Gems, I have no idea how I didn't pass out. I was that scared. Just then, there was movement. Obviously, my 8 or 9-year-old heart was really strong. I don't know why I didn't have a heart attack. I know my heart really did miss a beat. It turned out, though, that it was the person designated to sit with her. I forgot to say that the body is never left alone. There is always someone with the body. My attention snapped to this man who was obviously annoyed that a small child was in the room. He started telling me off. I told him my aunt had said I could use the loo here. He looked really upset and pointed out the loo to me. This was a room situated right beside the bed. As I passed the bed, the smell hit me right in the face. It was so strong, it was overpowering. It wasn't the smell of decay. I later realized it was the smell of death. I don't know why or what happened to me in that house, but from then on, I could walk into a house and smell death. Either someone recently died or is going to die. I'm never able to tell which. Most disturbing are all of the dreams I'd have. I'd wake up panicked, and that smell would linger in my room for a while. That would mean someone close to me was going to die. I wouldn't know who. I could never remember that part. Sometimes I'd be sitting in my front room and that smell would waft through the room. I'd get down on my knees and start praying. It never fails. Someone would die. And I'd find myself wondering what good this thing was if I can't identify who would be affected. I find it both frightening and disconcerting. I hate it. Some people dream up lottery numbers. I dream of who's going to die and death. Thanks for listening, Gems. You don't have to use this or you can use parts. I just emailed it as I would appreciate your take on it. Very few people know that I dream of death, not exactly something you can tell people to inspire confidence in them. I remember telling someone once, I think it was my mom, I'm not sure who now. They told me to shut up about it and don't talk to people about it. I've done just that. I guess it's because back home they would have labeled me a witch or something. They'd give my whole family a wide berth. Thanks for listening. For this one, please don't use my name. I'm really wary of people knowing this about me. That was from Anonymous, and I didn't announce that in the beginning because I did use their real name. But listen, I want to know where is back home because you mentioned back home once in a conversation with me before, but I wasn't sure where that was. So let me know. I do have some opinions about what's going on with you, and I would like to talk to you about it. So I will email you back the minute I get a chance. And I'm actually going to give you my number because emailing back and forth for me is hard because I can only check my emails like once a week if I get the time to do that. So guys, thank you so much for sharing your encounters with me, for everyone who sent them in, and for everyone who took the time to listen. As I said, sometimes because I'm just reading them right off, I don't go through and edit them for content. I don't go through and edit them for grammar and spelling, and people get excited, and these aren't professional writers. So if they're a little hard to understand, kind of bear with me. I know you guys will, right? This is Listener Encounters Part 5, and I am so incredibly excited about it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Spread the love by sharing. Subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure your notification bell is turned on so you can be notified every time I post a video. Don't forget to check out the description box for some important links. Justice for Caleb Smith, our 2-hour interview with April Arrington. As I always say, no mother should have to investigate the death of her own child, no matter what the circumstances are. Something is wrong there. Something is wrong with how that case was handled. If you haven't already, check out the live stream. We are going to be doing a podcast. I keep saying it. We're working on it, guys. We will never forget April. We will never forget Caleb, and we will never stop until we get answers and or justice. Sunday nights, fireside chat from 7 to 8 p.m. with me and Steve Stockton, Stemma on Missing Persons and Mysteries channel. Also, Friday nights, campfire stories on Missing Persons and Mysteries from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern time, same as fireside chat on Sunday nights. And Wednesday nights are a little different now. They are on this channel right here on Gemma Jade, my channel, as Dezombified has taken a hiatus from Real Evil due to some personal things that they're dealing with. We're going to pray for them that they get through it and get back quickly so we can get back to Real Evil. But Steve and I are doing something kind of different, like a paranormal or supernatural variety show, half fireside chat, half campfire stories, and half Real Evil. A little bit of everything, guys. And I'll put the link to the first one that we did this past week in the description box. We had so much fun. It was like one of the best live streams we've ever done. Also in the description box, links for my Patreon and PayPal for financial donations to the channel. All of that is appreciated as well. Guys, thank you so much for joining me, for all of your support. I appreciate and love every single one of you. Always choose kind, be kind to each other. It doesn't cost anything. Also, though, be kind to yourselves as well. Smile at a stranger. Always go in grace. Have your best day. Have your best night. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, yes. Here we go. Get this out of here. So, yeah, you never mess with a Ouija, and that guy definitely does need to check his history. I totally agree. So that's the two tonight. So what's up? Anybody want to talk about any of this stuff? Now, I know mine's later. I think yours blues is in either 7 or 8. So yeah, I'll go back and check to make sure, and I'll slide you a note which one it is. I'll pop it up in there. I should probably list people who are in there, but I don't watch them. Some of these I haven't watched in a while. I've been saving and rewatching a lot of these so I can do this. So it makes it nice to kind of refresh the memory. But yeah, the guy's history was a little concerning. Man, my plug's going goofy on me. Yeah, XYZ. I can't figure it out. I have seen it a bunch of times, and I don't know why I'm seeing XYZ. It's weird. I do remember the first one she reads. Oh, do you? Okay. Yeah, because I don't think mine until like 14 or 15 or later on in those areas. Because that was a lot of these were done at the time that I was going in and out of surgery. So I'm dealing with stuff. And it's weird to watch these older videos, the past. So I'm in a so mood. So what's up? But yeah. Everybody's still here. How many did we lose during this? So we lost a couple and gained one, I guess. That's all right. I like doing these. It's kind of neat to go back. And then I'll start going back and once we get to the encounters, if I'm around, I'll be playing some of the other stuff. And if there's like ones you guys like, I can request. We'll replay those too. So, but I want to do the encounters first. Figured that was a good way to start. I showed a couple off the first, and thought maybe it'd be cooler to show the encounters. That way we could show them in a row. At least a couple a night, because they're only like 25 minutes or so. She likes those long videos, which is good because you can really fit in a lot in. I had one YouTuber tell me, "Oh, you only want to make them about 10 to 15 minutes. That's about as long as attention span." In a lot of cases, it is. But she seems to be doing pretty good now. All these new people, and I think that's great. She's growing, getting a lot of good compliments. Her shorts are doing really good, and she'll have some hits and misses, but it's amazing. And then if I can get her to go, and then once I get to sit down with her and actually do the Rumble setup, we'll go to Rumble. At least what we'll do is you can't stream on Rumble, I believe, until you do so much. And so I want to transport some of her videos. You can actually copy them over to Rumble and have her do that and see how they do. See what kind of hits. You have to have so many subscribers, I think, to go. You have to leave. I think it said 1, but I don't think she'll have a problem there. And then like I said, and then once she can stream on there, what I'll do is I'll try to stream, and she does Oracle. I'll stream it on Rumble too, and see how the trolls do. I won't make a big deal about it. I'll just kind of put it on there and put the live on there when she goes live, and hopefully she won't, because you always get those trolls in a new place. Something to be expected, but I don't think it will last. I know a lot of you guys are already on Rumble anyway, so it shouldn't be that big a deal. And if you're not on Rumble, you should check it out because it's a little more freer. I'll probably get in trouble from YouTube. I said something earlier in Wayne's chat and Michigan's chat, and it wouldn't let me say it because I was talking about PayPal because I paid him, gave him a super chat. And I said, I wrote, yeah, I just, wanted to give a super chat, but it's better to give a PayPal because he gets all the money. And it wouldn't let me send it in. They kept denying me big time. So everybody's still around. Everybody gonna do anything good on tomorrow? And tomorrow's supposed to be really nice here. A little humid, but it's supposed to be nice and cool. I mean, humidity is almost typical in summer Ohio. So you got quiet. Why did you get quiet? Y'all probably into here pretty soon if it's going to get quiet, which is fine. It'll give me a chance to kind of rewind a little bit. Like I said, I got a couple things I want to do before I got to print off some legal documents and stuff. It's going to be better all week. It's gonna be, yeah, just think positive. It's been a weird 2 weeks. Actually, it's been a little weird for me a while. Some things that I see and what's going on kind of bothers me. So I'm a little on edge. I was a little on edge for a couple of weeks. It's just getting to me. And then I'm noticing other things, but life's good. I can't complain. But it will get better. It does get better. You got to make it better, though. I used to have a friend, it will get better. No, you got to make it better, which is hard to, sometimes it's easier said than done. Ghosty, yes. Nah, I don't want no beef tonight. I had my beef. Like I said, I made homemade hamburger helper. Actually, usually when I make it, it turns out pretty good. Tonight I didn't make it as creamy, but it was still good. But yeah, I want to get Dad out fishing. He's been dying to go fishing, so I think I might take him out one this week. A couple guys called me tonight, wants to go camping. I may do that. Take off and go camping for a couple nights. A bunch of them. I think there's like 6 of them. A couple of them and their wives, a couple girlfriends. I figured I might go. What the hell? One's got a camper. He said I could sleep in the campers. Cool. But he's got one of these huge, we call it the cathedral. He's got one of these huge tents. It's got little rooms in it and everything. It's kind of nice. It's all decked out. And I don't know why he brings the camper. But it was nice because he goes, I'll bring the camper and you can sleep in that. So that's cool. So you don't mind doing this. Hope I don't mess up the shocks. He laughs because they all know I rock. They said I fell asleep one time we went camping. I fell asleep in a lawn chair and I got to rocking in the lawn chair. They said they don't know how I didn't break it. He said, we just let you go. You were fine. But we were worried about that lawn chair. Piggy. Nope. I had my bacon yesterday. Pictures. Yeah, at least he's. Yeah, I'm really hoping this is a good week too. Everybody needs it. It seems like everybody was kind of in a funky mood, which is fine. And then a lot of people, I understand why. So, Mises, there's Mises upon us. There's Mrs. of Mises. But yeah, what time we got going here? Well, almost 1:30. 1:30. 1:37. Yeah, I'm hoping for a better positive week. I mean, it hasn't been bad. It's been weird for me. It's kind of like not like an emotional roller coaster, just weird. The little ups and downs. It's like I noticed last week it was like something opened up, and I'm seeing a lot more than I usually do. Not only with what follows things, but people too. Kind of messes you when you start really noticing things about the people around you, folks around you. It's like, wow, how come all of a sudden I'm noticing that? Huh? So what are dragons afraid of? Giants. Giants like to slay dragons. See, a lot of people don't understand that these knights of old were giants that killed these dragons. At least that's kind of some of the research I did. The giants and the dragons didn't get along too well at all. And dragons were considered more, I mean, they were bad dragons too, but most dragons were considered protectors and hoarders of silver and gold, anything shiny. A lot of them kind of just hid out in their caves with their loot, like Schmog. But I'd say giants. Dwindling down now. First, I have to quit the band, then an experiment. To quit the band, then an experiment, and found another friends who were not so friendly. Poured my heart out, and got silence. Waiting on calls that aren't coming. Just great. Yeah, I've been there. Believe me, I've been there. It will get better. Just work around it. Sometimes things don't always work and go the way you want them to. People are not what you think. You just got to go around it, figure it out, move on to the next step. I know it's hard and it's a pain in the butt. Sometimes those are like wake up calls and make you realize maybe there's a better path, a better direction. Maybe that's what it's trying to tell you. It can be a real bummer at times, but sometimes that's what it's, hey, you might not want to go this way. They're trying to push you this way. So keep your eyes open, Blue. Something's better is coming along. I know you want to get a band back together, and you still may. And it may be better than what you've had in the past. -1, as I say. But man, you don't give up. Just learn from what just happened and move on. You should know that. I shouldn't have to say that. But I've been there. You know, things don't work out. Sometimes you open up and people just kind of silence you, or they don't say nothing at all. Been there too. Believe me, I've been there. So I don't talk a whole lot. You probably get these Fridays and Saturdays are probably the most I really talk, to be quite honest. You see what I'm like in most of the streams. I interrupted somebody, and bless her heart, she thought I was just trying to finish her sentence. I was just trying to make a statement. Bless her heart. But yeah, I mean, it happens. You just learn from it and move on. Apparently, the friends you found probably were not the friends you needed in the first place. I don't have give. Yeah, you shouldn't. That's the way it should be, Blue. You shouldn't be in the dictionary. It's not mine. I don't give up. I get fed up, but it doesn't stop me from keep going. You're allowed to get fed up, but it's not all right to give up. Always keep my feet going forward. And if I have to take a couple of steps back, it's probably for the best. Just to take a quick breath, take a couple steps back, catch your breath, get a new insight of what's going on, and move on. Ghost, have a great day tomorrow making ice cream. Safe travels to all. You have a good night, Mark. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your sleep. And you have a good day tomorrow, too. Yes, I think I am going to try to make some ice cream. It sounds really good. We were talking about it earlier. So that sounds like a plan for me. Cook out and make some ice cream. Like I said, I want to go find my chair. So I think tomorrow will be kind of just running around, just get things done. I don't want to be in the store too long. I said me in the stores and public hasn't been doing too good lately. So I'll go do what we need to do and get home. Put around the house while I get ready for dinner. That's what I was trying to tell someone. Just because I don't quit doesn't mean that's right. It's okay to hurt, man. Believe me, it's okay to hurt. Hurting's part of growing. You know, I still believe no pain, no gain. It gets rough sometimes, believe me, I know. And I don't give up. You ask anybody, I know. I'm on it until it's done. And if they don't like it, they don't like it. I'm going to finish it. But yeah, sometimes it hurts. Believe me, I know. Every day. So lately, it's been like every day's been a wake-up call. So I kind of know what you're getting. Last week was a weird one. Yes, you do learn through failure. But unfortunately, not all people do. And they keep making the same mistake over and over again. And that's when you feel for those people because they just won't wake up. And now I always like to think outside the box too. That kind of helps me keep moving too. Kind of look beyond the next step. I don't like to plan ahead. I'm one who plans ahead, but I don't like to do it because nothing ever happens the way you want it to. So you always got to, I always like to say I have a couple backup plans, and I always do. Always make sure that when I make plans or have my eyes set on something, I always make sure I have a couple of things lined up on the side just in case. And I don't give up. It's not a good thing. And when it comes to people, sometimes you find out that the cover is the book. But I don't like to judge people by their cover either. But sometimes that cover does say a lot. Then as for pouring your heart, yeah, I've been there too. Believe me, I know. And sometimes it might be for the best because it makes you stop and think. That's just trying to look at the positive side of it, but it's never good when you kind of open up to somebody and then you get silence. But you move on. It hurts. Like I said, it does. It hurts. Life isn't meant to be a bowl of cherries. Sometimes you get a few nasty ones. You just got to throw them out and keep going. But I actually see you getting a band back together, Blue. I really do. I think you're determined to do something like that. I think you'll find the right people. You'll find what you're looking for. It happens. It will happen. If it's meant to happen, it will definitely happen. Sometimes what we think is meant to happen is not really what was meant to happen. And sometimes it's even better. One day at a time. I believe that too. You take one day at a time. But with, how can I put it? I like to take one day at a day time. I always look at tomorrow's a new day. Let's, new start over, new walking points. Sometimes, with all the issues and how many times I've walked in and out of death's door, I always kind of like to kind of think ahead and keep things back up because I never know what the next day is going to bring me. But I'm always willing to wait for it, and I'm always there when it comes. That's in the works, actually, but going slow. Yeah, it will go slow. It will go slow. This tip is decent. The potatoes are amazing. Oh, he's going to give it his criticism now? That's good. Sounds like it was good. Man, I've been comparing meat from stores lately. Man, I am kind of concerned what they're trying to sell us. Man, there was one store I went into, man, I wouldn't have touched any of the meat I saw in the meat rack. There was no way. And I'm like, this lady looked at me and then looked at the meat and she goes, "You're thinking the same thing I am." And I said, "Yeah, I think I'm going to go somewhere else." And so you're going to have to, and I noticed a couple times when I went to the store, there was some things that looked like they actually tried to change the expiration date on them. Like, this ain't right. I took one thing of milk. It did look like they tried to change the expiration date on it. I put it on the counter. I go, "Oh, what? Look how funny that looks." Yes, I agree with that. Chicken has looked kind of yellow. I saw a video the other day in this one meat department. They were using pink lights to hide the gray pork chops. It was nasty. Once he took them out of the light, it was like, oh my gosh. So they're trying to play with you now. But yeah, chickens look kind of funky. It's all that crap they shoot them up with. I think I said we got KFC a while back, last week. I think it was last weekend, and it looked like the bone, the chicken looked like it was stepped on and crushed. None of it looked like it was supposed to. The drumsticks didn't look like drumsticks. It was just and it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. I've had so much better. Yeah, it's all the antibiotics, and yeah, you can do GMOs for animals now too. So I've seen some, and I had a friend worked for one of the major grocery stores here, and he stopped working for him because he realized they were juicing them up so it looked better, last a little longer. And he's like, I wouldn't eat that crap, so he quit. He tried to expose them, but it didn't happen. Yeah, check that beef before you buy it. Worth what they want for it. Isn't it the truth? Like, I've been checking around. So far, the best I've done so far looking at meat has been going to an actual butcher. There's a couple of them here, and if I really want to get picky, that's where I go. We're in the process of getting ready to buy one of the package deals from this one butcher because we got the one package last year. I had to throw half of it away because of the fire, which really bummed me out because it was a lot of good meat that had to be pitched because the freezer, sat. And I was bummed, but man, we got a great deal for like $140. The meat was awesome. The hamburger was nice, lean. He even threw an extra pound of buffalo burger in it for me. So we had one night I split in half. And we made a couple hamburgers one night, and then a couple nights later I made tacos with it. Oh, it's so good with tacos. But yeah, it was probably the best. Not probably what I'll do this year. We're looking at new freezers now. So the two things we're getting now, since we got his generator and his compressor, we're gonna get a new freezer. He wants to stand up, and because we had a chest freezer and that thing was up there to dig through to get what you want, so we're gonna get a stand up, and then his recliner, and then I need to get him some other small things that disappeared on him during the return of the stuff. I spent a little bit of the afternoon gluing action figures back together, or collectibles back together. And we're finally sitting down and trying to figure everything out. So that's what I was doing earlier, was gluing stuff back together until I can get replacements for them. I mean, they broke one of my son's Batmans, which was a metal. It was made of metal, and it's like a $500 piece. And they broke a hand off. I think that's some of the reason why they gave Dad extra money, because he got like an extra 6,000, almost an extra 7,000 out of it that he didn't expect, that we didn't expect. So it worked out good. Yeah, they were kissing our butt big time because his wagon train was missing that his brother built for him. He's still going off about them. He actually called him the other day and gave him hell. I'm still thinking about you guys. Could be if you could put the recliner in the freezer, it'd last longer probably. Actually, I honestly thought I'd be the one to break it, because we had the recliner. Me and the son had the recliner before we moved in here, and he would yell at me for sitting in it because I had a recliner when he moved in with me before we moved into the last place that we lived at before we moved in here. And I literally busted that crap out of it, rocking in it and sleeping in it. I'd rock. I had it all busted out. I was the only one that would sit in it. Yeah, that would be interesting. Get a full room freezer. That way we don't have to turn on the air conditioner. But today wasn't bad. It was decent. Had a little bit of heat in the afternoon when the sun popped out, but it stayed pretty cloudy. The wind was the big help today. The other day when it was windy, it was just nasty wind. Today was a little more, added more help to the humidity, kind of kept it moving. But it was still kind of muggy out there. High five. How many still got? 6 left. Everybody's dwindling down. Everybody's pooping out on me, which is fine. That's what this is all about. I figured just do something. I promised Aunt Edna that I would start telling stories. So I've been also kind of going through stuff, kind of compiling some stuff in chronological order, make it easier to tell. Gord, I would make it would rain in the freeze. Wait. Oh, retracted. Okay. No, actually, I look over here and it doesn't get retracted. So you wash your Jeep today. That's usually what happens. I think the bulbs. My dad said he'd for about like 3 years. He swear the same bird every time he washed his car. The same bird would poop on it in the same spot every time after he washed his car. He was like, I don't know what this bird I did to this bird. I feed him, I give him food, and he's crapping on my car every time I wash it. Every time. I said, what you did to it, Dad? You did something to it. Yeah, I'm thinking about going back and checking out that Jeep and test driving the one I saw the other day, last week. I like my little Hyundai. That thing's been good. Heck, it took 2 nice long trips and did great. I was really impressed. It's either that or I'm thinking about, I want a truck, but I don't want a truck. But I also want a camper, so I want something decent. And get a Jeep, I could probably pull a small 2-man camper or one of those little teardrops. I don't need much space. Like I said, I'm pretty easy. Don't take much to keep me going. My place to sleep. I would have to put extra posts on it so I don't rock it off the hinges. You get any more rubber duckies, Blue? I actually saw that happen the other day at the store. I come out and this guy was laughing and holding up a rubber ducky. He had a Jeep. I didn't see what it was, but he had a Jeep and he was smiling and laughing. And somebody had put a rubber ducky on his Jeep. I was like, oh, it really does happen. If the Mariners win the World Series, I will make nice chunks. Yeah, there you go. I said, I'm not into baseball. I don't watch sports like I used to. Sports kind of, I've seen some things and did some research lately a while back ago about sports. I was a little disappointed when I found it, but it was to be expected because I always say you want to know who's going to win the Super Bowl, watch the beginning, the commercials at the beginning of the season. No more. How many rubber duckies you got now? You probably got a box of them. That I was like, this guy, what's he laughing at? He's holding up this little rubber duck. It was it looked like a Dracula ducky, which was kind of cute. Had a cape on. Bunches. Yeah, probably. Try and check my thing is going kooky. Okay, let's see what happened. There we go. I got another screen going. I was trying to watch, keep an eye on something for a friend. He's a camera. He's out of town. So he asked me, he's been having some weird things going on around his house. So I got his screen. I got his camera going. He said, just do me a favor and keep it when you're doing your stream on Friday. He said, just keep an eye on the house. So I got it up in the corner. But he says he's got stuff missing out of the garage because he takes off on long trips. He had stuff missing out of the garage, but nobody will do anything until they has something solid. He says he don't know how he's not catching it on video, but I told him I keep an eye on it, check it while I was on stream. So I've been watching that, but he got real fuzzy there for a while. I'm like, what's going on there? Oh, yeah, I'm just trying to see. But yeah, I think I am going to call it. Everybody's kind of dwindling down. Saturday night. Everybody should go get some rest. Try to start a new day tomorrow. AK Willie can finish his food. What'd you make for dessert, Willie? You make all this food. Do you make any dessert? You can't have all that food without some kind of dessert. He's not going to answer because he didn't make dessert. I want chocolate cake, dude. That actually sounds good. But I think I am going to let everybody go since it's 2 o'clock. Everybody go get some rest. Have a good day Sunday. I really hope everybody does have a wonderful Sunday and the beginning of the new weekend. I believe, let me make sure I do this. Let me make sure. I don't think she put up a thumbnail yet. Let me make sure because I want to make sure because I want to promote her. Her video Monday for her 11 o'clock premiere is High Strangeness. 1 second. I forgot the other half of it. Her Monday 11 o'clock premiere video is High Strangeness 6, Strangest Abductions, The Strangest Abductions. So that will be her video on Monday at 11 o'clock. Don't forget, no stream Tuesday. That will be in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I believe we are doing oracles on Wednesday at 7. And of course, I think all three of us is this Thursday. I don't know if she's, with her being at mom's, I don't know if she'll be there. And then Friday and Saturday with me. But yeah, make sure you check out her video on Monday. Come in the chat. It's at 11. High Strangeness 6, Strangest Abductions. And there's some pretty strange ones out there too. So she should have some good ones. Definitely. I meant to push that earlier. But yeah, make sure you check that out, folks. Yeah, she said she was doing it. I figured she was. I mean, she hasn't. Usually she tells me in advance, so I'm sure we're doing it. In fact, I know we're doing it. That's her favorite night of the year. Of the year. That's her favorite night of the week, and it is too. That's one night that she is her happiest. That's what I made: chocolate cake and peanut butter icing. Oh, Sydney, oh, beam still my heart. You gonna give me a chunk of that? The kids loved it. I bet they did. They were probably wired for a few hours too. They ran around a good 3 hours, but they crashed hard too. But the problem is, you do that to them, they crash, but they only crash because when kids crash, they crash. So when they're up again, it's like starting all over again. But yeah, make sure you check it out because that should be a good video. There are a lot of strange abductions out there, and that's at 11. And then we'll see you Wednesday at 7:15. She's been trying to start early, and trying to go to 11. We have tried to get everybody's name in by 10 because she likes to talk, and that's good. I think that's important. People don't like it when she talks so much, but I think that makes the night that really what makes everything groove because I think she makes a better connection with people when she talks. Yeah, it does sound amazing, doesn't it? I could go for some chocolate peanut butter icing cake. Ooh. So it'll be good. And then, like I said, I'm pretty sure we're doing Thursday too. I think she said something about it, but I'm not sure because I thought she said if Laura's may have to do it by herself. So we'll see what the deal's on Thursday. So Monday 11, Strange Encounters 6, Strangest Abductions. Wednesday at 7:15 to 11. We try to get her done a little early so she can, get the kid to bed and everything, get settled in for the night. And then Thursday at 8, as long as I know is Laura. I always kind of play that one by ear. And then Friday and Saturday with me. Friday, I think I'm going to start telling stories at the beginning. And then we'll just go from there. And then, of course, Saturday night, midnight will be Gemma's replay, which will be 6 and 7. So that should be in yours, Blue. So everybody have a wonderful night. Please have a good day tomorrow and a good start to the week. And I hope I see you all tomorrow. Monday at 11. Monday at 11 for the premiere. And just have a wonderful. See, I'm getting tired. I'm about due because I've been having to take an extra dose. Have a wonderful one. And I'll see you guys on the flip side of Monday. Good night. Have a pleasant one. Please be safe out there. Take care of each other.